Not really a problem, X. 6 uses is a lot. Alright, we're good to go. Get tons of awakening. There's 2 awakenings on this banner, and that qualifies as tons. Alright. So we start out with Terra's Awakening. Terra's Awakening is interesting in a way that the others are not. Zidane was a Thief Awakening, and Kain was a Dragoon Awakening. Those are both school-based. Terra's is Awaken Fire. And that means something, believe it or not. Because we're used to dual cast Legend Materia at the moment, triggering dual casts only when you actually deal that type of damage. So if, let's say Lulu were to use Vortex against Belias, she has a 35% chance to dual cast ice abilities, but it wouldn't work for Vortex. Now this is going to be a change. This gets changed in the future. But if she she casted that against Typhon, it would be ice damage, and her 35% chance to dual cast ice would trigger, and she would be able to use it there. Eventually that gets buffed, where even if you're not directly hitting that element, then the dual cast will count. So in Terra's case, she has a 25% chance to dual cast fire abilities, and eventually she will be buffed, so that 25% chance to dual cast fire abilities also applies to her hitting wind or earth damage with Meltdown, and lightning and ice with Valley Germanda. That buff comes eventually to Legend Materia, but for Awakenings, it's already in effect. For Awaken Fire mode, one of the things that Awakening provides is the ability to just cast everything twice. Everything that does fire damage. And and I'm not going to call it a buff because that's the way Awakenings were when they were released and always will be, is she can be a viable ice character by using Valley Germanda, because her Awakening works with Valley Germanda even when it's hitting ice, even when it's hitting lightning damage, and with Meltdown when it's hitting earth damage and wind damage. So that is a kind of a benefit that Elemental get. I mean, school-based could potentially be better. Say in Zidane's case, he has Thief, so he can hit 3 elements if you include Poison, but let's say 2, with Fire and Wind. Kain is Awakened Dragoon, so he can hit Wind and Lightning. But being Awakened single element, Terra can actually hit 3 different elements. Yes, it will. And eventually, her 25% chance to dual cast fire abilities Legend Materia could also work. So she could triple cast Valley Germanda. She could triple cast meltdown even when they're not dealing fire damage. Right. The only primary of the 6 elements that she's not good at is water. She's obviously better at fire than anything else. Yeah, change the music. I'll just make it quiet. I don't want to interrupt the banner. So there's that. Other than that, it's one of the more basic awakenings, where it has an awaken mode, and the special thing that she gets from it is actually just trance. She gets Terra's trance, which is the exact same trance that she gets from her Legend Materia 2. So what this allows you to do is, you could do 3 things, you know? I guess 2. Use her Legend Materia 2. Have trance get triggered at the start of the fight. So that she can fast cast out things before she awakenings, which is useful. You know, fast casting out a soul break is pretty damn good. Save a bunch of time. About 1.25 seconds. Yeah, if you're already tranced, all it'll do is overwrite the duration. It'll just refresh it. That's it. So that's kind of unfortunate if you run her that way. What I think I would try to do instead is, thank goodness, she has an LMR on the banner. She has an LMR 2. Finally got it. Her LMR 1 showed up on like every festival for as far back as I can remember, as far as Legend Materia existed. But she now gets start the battle with Fire. And what I would probably do instead is don't run her trance. Use her dual cast Legend Materia Relic, and use her Fire Legend Materia Relic, then Glint before awakening. That would put her at 2 stacks of Fire, and then you would awakening after that. And you would have 3 stacks of Fire. What if you don't have her dual casts? Well then, you're kind of stuck with either her LM1, which isn't bad, it's 10% extra damage, or you just use her trance for the beginning of the fight. When animal lenses come out, spend 3,000 tier 2 lenses on her LMR 1. It is a free heal. It's also stats before using the Awakening. It's also quick cast before using the Awakening. It can be used to good effect. But if I had her LMR 1 and 2, I'd probably use those. And then get the trance status from casting the Awakening. So that's Terra's. How long before Animal Lens released? About 2.5 to 3 months. Yeah, if you guys want to take a look, I have a page dedicated to animal lenses and how you get them and what you can buy with them. I'll post that in chat right now. There aren't many wind mages, so and there aren't many ice mages either. So Terra's ability to be a wind mage or an ice mage, pretty good. She'll just be a better version of Vivi or Palom. She automatically dual casts with the Awakening. And Awakenings, remember, they provide a rank boost. So she'll get a 30% damage bonus, even on non-fire abilities. So, moving on, we come to the big one. The Bartz. Zidane is 2 elements. Kane is 2 elements. Terra is 5 elements. Bartz is 6. Not only is Bartz 6, but Terra is 5, but she specializes in 1. Bartz is 6, and he specializes in 4. Deal 15 physical fire, water, wind, earth, and non-elemental attacks to 1 target. Temporarily increase the user's fire, water, wind, and earth attack levels by 3. 30% increase elemental damage. Temporarily grant the user Awoken Spellblade mode. So any element that Spellblade can hit is accessible to him, which is 6 elements. Well, 7 if you include poison, but I'm not going to do that. And his ability on top of that is every 2 Spellblade attacks. Not Spellblade attacks, sorry. Every 2 fire, water, wind, and earth ability he uses will trigger Barrage Master, which is an 8 single target fire, water, wind chase. Every 2 abilities. So that's basically 4 hits of chase per round. But let's say 8 every 2, because it is more accurate. And that can absolutely be combined with his USB 1. Those chase attacks from his USB 1 are great. The quick cast from his USB 1, great. The 30% attack from his USB 1 is still good too because of the soft cap increase. This is the best. This is gross. I don't know if it's that bad of a mistake, but I think it's a bit much. I think this is a bit too powerful. And Bartz and Terra being on the same banner, if you've been following along in like Discords lately, everyone was just waiting for the banner info, waiting for those banner images to get released. And when they finally did, or no, it was the MVP letter, and we saw that Bartz and Terra stayed on the same banner, just like they were in Japan. Everyone breathed a sigh of relief. That's true. Rydia's comes next festival, which takes Bartz to a whole new level for Magic. Though Bartz is the better character than Rydia is amazing, but Bartz is the better character because of the USBs that he has and stuff like that. But Awakening versus Awakening, Rydia's is incredible. Yeah, Alphinaud's is Summon Awakening, but it's more wind-based, where Rydia's is, it grants a party buff, party magic buff. It's definitely meant more to be Omni-Elemental, where Alphinaud's is more closely wind. So this banner's off to a pretty decent start. Moving on, we have a Dark Arcane for Cloud. 3 hits. We have the first Generation 2 Wind Chain for physical. Because Zax has been really good for so long. But Ferris is actually pretty good with it as well. Though I'm not sure I would use this on my physical team. I think because I rely so heavily on Cloud, I'd probably still keep using Zac, and it is a wind bow, But this would be, personally, if I don't pull Alphino's Chain, this would be a great pull for me for my magical team. Because, like all support 5 chain holders, they really are just good on both elements. Or both damage types. Even though Ferris is just physical. Supposed to be just physical. Yeah, and Ferris does, as Kupo Blitz brings up, have good soul breaks that she can bring to a magical team as well. She is a really good character. It's if only Zack's Chain didn't exist, and if only Cloud didn't exist, this would be a mega prize instead of just being a really good one. Or Ignis BSB, Janie. That won't be for a little bit for it, I think. Yeah, right. About the same time that Animal Lenses drop. Alright, next up we have Cloud's USB 3, which is a copy of his USB 2. Just dark instead of wind. No, it's not. Okay, never mind. Just erase that from your minds. That didn't happen. Ten single target, physical, dark, non-elemental, and dark heavy charge booster. That's the same thing that Sync gets. Every time he gains a charge of a heavy charge, he gains one more instead. And the chase is very similar to his USB 2, which is, it's not random like his USB 2 is, it's just 4 single target physical, dark, non-elemental attacks so he can break the damage cap. Really good. So Cloud is officially not just a really good, you know, dark character with his USB 1, but now he's actually getting relics that are much more focused on dealing dark damage. Yeah, and his USB 1 makes this pretty good, because if you remember, the heavy abilities hit up to 7 times with a very large multiplier. Cloud with USB 1 likes that a lot. So you mix his Cloud USB 1 and USB 3 together, you've got a pretty sick character. Yeah. And next up, we have Rosa. Rosa USB 2. This reads exactly how Alara's does. Alara's USB 1. Instant Curaga Medica. 2 charges of high quick cast to the party, Regenga to the party, and that's it. That's it. That's everything. Stinks. No, it's extremely good. Rosa's more of a kind of a side grade to Alara. Alara does more things, but Rosa does some of those things better, and Rosa's also viable in a tournament. I think there was a little conversation about this earlier in chat. So the differences between Rosa and Alara are, Alara can't be used in any tournament. Well, she can, but I wouldn't advise it. Rosa can be used in Final Fantasy IV tournament. Rosa has access to Wrath, so she can generate soul break points better than Alara using summons. So summons, when they hit vulnerability, 6-star summons, will generate 135 soul break points. Wrath generates 180. You'd much rather have the 180, but a lot of the times on mage teams, the Alara summoning is actually really good because with a chain, she can approach hitting cap. I mean, 30k per cast isn't bad for a Wrath, right? So they have that going for them. Because Rosa has support 4, she can cover a lot of what Alara does with her dancing for single stat debuffing to cancel out Magicite buffs, like Belias, for instance. Belias buffs its attack. She can just use Power Breakdown to cancel it out, where Alara uses the Power Breakdown dance. Alara does have access to Bard abilities, which is something Rosa does not at all. I'd probably go with option 2, Sissel. Both! What else is there? I know there's something else I'm missing. Well, Alara has access to double cast white magic, but that hasn't been all that useful. Last Stand. Alara has the ability to Last Stand with her BSB. Rosa can Magic Blink with her USB 1. They're very, very similar to each other, but there are differences. Yeah, Sephiroth's a 21-hit arcane, while Cloud's is only 3. Yeah, Rosa has a bad Legend Dive. So you gain 200 5-star Legend motes. What's up, Wander? That is true. I dislike, you know, for as many times as I use Alara's USB, I really dislike that animation. I just don't, I'm so confused by it. I don't understand what's happening. Garland's USB chases are solely for darkness, so heavy charge abilities won't trigger the trace. Chases it. Same for Cloud. If going by what I have written down here, it is just dark. Let's check. I have Enliers open right now. I'll check it for you. Great. There's a fire somewhere. Here's the exact line. Darkness Blow, follow up the chase, cast Darkness Blow after using a dark attack. So, you are not required to use a dark attack. Or a darkness attack. You can use Dark Element. So yes, it works with heavy. I think it'd be kind of weird for a character that doesn't have Darkness 5 to get a Darkness chase. Okay, so moving on after Rose's excellent healing USB, we have Cloud's Glint 1 is extremely good with his Wind kit. This is just as good with his Dark kit. And Dark stacking. 6 hits. Yeah, Cloud has gotten really morbid. Rosa's Glint, instantly grant Magic Blink to all allies. That's cool. That's cool on a Glint. Yes. Also grants him haste. So Magic Blink and haste. That is an excellent utility Glint. Bartz's Glint. I don't know if this is as good as it used to be. It's still really good at making him an Omni Spellblader, But that was back when he wasn't really that great at hitting ice and lightning damage. These days, his awakening is on this banner. It's fine. It's fine. It's probably pretty good in the Torment because it gives him high quick cast Spellblade. But outside of there, I'm not sure that I would use this anymore. This is kind of it's instant damage, but not that great. Another burst. This is a burst. Unlike Banner's three's burst, this is kind of a miss. This banner had to have one miss, didn't it? Okay, Cloud gets 2 new LMRs, which are incredibly crazy. Because of the way you play Cloud, is you cast his USB 1 first, so the extended amount of time that you spend not having an element for Wind or Dark, plus the fact that his LM2 is useless. 35% chance to dual cast combat abilities. He doesn't use combat abilities anymore. Having access to these LMRs is awesome. It's true, Ferris's BSB2 animation is awesome. These are very good LMRs for Cloud. And as I talked about with Terra's Awakening, her getting a new LMR is actually a really good thing. And she does have an Endfire stacking Glint to go with it too. And then, you know, just throw a little bit more on there. We have Rosa finally with the ability to dual cast. 25% LMR. His throat's getting scratchy. I'm gonna need another drink after this. So, there are very few people in the game that this banner isn't good for because of how universally powerful Terra and Bartz are. Specifically Bartz, but Terra is no slouch for mage teams and physical teams both. And, you know, I guess Cloud and Ferris's Chain and Rosa's Alara USB clone is on this banner too, I guess. This is the marquee banner of the festival. Does anyone disagree? No, it is not, Angel. Red 13 stuff was switched for Riku's stuff.